Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all in day 27 of internship program on IoT project development using industry grade microcontroller. So today what we will do, we'll first solve the error we faced yesterday while communicating with the Firebase using Android application. We will understand what was the error, then first we will solve it and then we'll continue with the today's session, which is from AWS IoT. So we will start with that. We'll first solve this error. You can see that I have opened the same file, Android application. We faced some problem while communicating with the Firebase using this application. So what I will do, I will just build it again and I will connect my smartphone Android device and then we will diagnose it. I have connected my Android device. Okay, what we will do, we will run it. You can see here, let me just, can see here, this is the app. So we were taking user input from here, type here, and using this button, we were sending the data to the Firebase. But when we press this button, the app was getting crashed. So we will try it again. So I will just type hello first. Okay, I have typed hello, and then I will press send. You can see that again it got crashed. Okay, the same problem yesterday what we faced. You can see here. So this was the error. So try to understand this error first. Okay, com.google firebase.database exception. Serializing arrays is not supported. So this is the error. So what I thought that whenever we are taking user.getText, so I thought that this return type of this function is in string, but it is not in string. It is in arrays. So this was the error. You can see here. Serializing arrays is not supported. So to overcome this issue, we have to convert this array. So we are getting return type as array. We have to convert it into string. To convert it into string, you just had to type dot, just type dot and toString. Okay, you can just type 2 and it will give this option. Hit enter. Now what we will do, we will just build it again. And after that, we'll run it again. You can see here, okay, the same application. We have run again. Now what I will do, I will type again hello. Here, I'll press this button. Now you can see that app is not getting crashed, okay, because we have converted arrays to string. So that was the error. Because of this problem, it was returning arrays. This error we were getting. Okay, we will quickly check the Firebase also. Okay, just I have sent this hello. I'll just change it to 2345. You can see here 2345, and I will hit. You can see here we are updating data on the Firebase also. So whatever data we are putting here, we are updating. So I will type ATC, and I will hit You can see that. So this was the only issue. Everything we have created in this application is correct. The only problem was I thought that the function itself was saying get text. So I thought that it will return string, but it wasn't. It was returning arrays. So if we compare the another application we used to send the data, so this one. So we were directly setting string. We were not taking any user input. So that was the reason it was working and this application wasn't working properly. That was the issue. So what I will do, I will just quickly close this and we will start with the AWS IoT part. So there will be two sections in AWS IoT, integrating ESP8266 with AWS IoT and integrating Android application with the AWS IoT. So we can complete a project. So first section will be connecting ESP8266 with the AWS IoT. So to do that, what are the things required? Let's understand that first, because it is relatively difficult with respect to Firebase. So when we are connecting ESP8266 with the Firebase and the Android application with the Firebase, it is relatively easy. And in AWS IoT, it is little bit difficult because it involves a lot of steps. Okay, so we'll be talking about the steps. What are the steps involved to connect ESP8266 with the Firebase, and later in the sessions, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, we'll be discussing how to connect Android application with the AWS IoT. So first, we will understand the libraries required. I'll just quickly open Arduino. So today we will control LED of ESP8266 using AWS IoT. I will just close this one first. Sorry. You can see this zip file esp-mqtt aws-iot core master. Okay, I will upload this zip file in resource material. You have to extract this file. I'll simply extract this because we are going to use this file today. Simply extract it. I have extracted. Then open it, and you will find these files. From there, just use Arduino. You will find again 3 files. In these 3 files, we are not going to use these 2 files. I'll simply select them, sorry, and delete them. Okay, because we are not going to need them. So only file we are going to need this pub/sub client. Just simply open this file and double click it. So first we will understand what are the libraries required to integrate ESP8266 with the AWS IoT. The first library is ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h, which will automatically get installed when we install the board from tools. Second one is the Wi-Fi client secure.h. It is also by default get installed. Okay, you do not have to install this library. And also the time, it is also pre-installed. The only libraries we have to install are pub/sub client and the Arduino JSON. Okay, take note of this. Pub/sub client.h and the Arduino JSON.h. The pub/sub, just go to Sketch. I'm repeating, yesterday I have shown, but I will quickly just show you again. Sketch, go to Sketch, include library. And just type this pub/sub. So pub sub. Here you can see the list available. Scroll down and find this library, pub sub client by Nick. Just install this library. I have already installed. You can see here, pub sub client by Nick. Install this library. And after this, we have already installed this JSON, Arduino JSON.h, but we have installed 5.13.2 version. So we have to update this to the latest version, because we cannot use, if you use the same version, it will give error. Okay. So we have to install the latest version available of JSON, Arduino JSON. Just simply type JSON, and you can scroll down a little, and you can find this Arduino JSON by Benoit. And the latest version is, you can see here, 6.18.1. Here we have installed this latest version, 6.18.2. So simply install the latest version of JSON also. Third very important thing, which is not among the libraries but from the boards, we install this 5, I think 2.5.2 version of ESP8266, 2.5.2. But to work with AWS IoT, you must update it to latest version available. So this is the latest version I already have installed. So to update it, just go to boards manager and simply type ESP. ESP. You can see this. And this is the latest version you will find here. Okay. 3.0.0. We have installed 3.0.1. Simply install the latest version, else you will get Stack Overflow reset. You can see here, they have also given use version 6 and later for JSON. And what we will do, we'll simply just check we have done everything correctly, all the steps I've just shown you. We'll just simply compile it. Just make sure that selected the correct board. I'm compiling now. So we are going to use this script to interact with the AWS IoT. So we are going to change few things from this code. I will tell you to what things to change, and all other things are going to be same. We do not need to change everything in this code. Okay, done compiling. So everything is correct, working correctly. Now the second part, the code we have, you can see here, is correct. The second part in this is to add credentials. So without credentials, we cannot connect with the AWS IoT. So this code will not understand how to connect. So in secret.h, all the credentials related to network present. And see here. So first is SSID of your Wi-Fi network, the password. Okay. I'll just quickly change that to the project, because name of my phone's hotspot SSID is project, and the password is computer 12345. And here you can see thing name and MQTT host. First credential, which we do not have it with us, is thing name. Second is this MQTT host, and you can see here this certificate, begin certificate. You can just, you can see here this certificate. This we have to change. Again, the client certificate and the private key. So we have to provide all these credentials, this private key, this client certificate, you can see here client certificate, the private key, the CA certificate, server authentication certificate, the MQTT host, this one, and the thing name. So all these things we will find in our AWS IoT account. So how to get this all the credentials, I will show you. Just simply type AWS. Just simply click here. Okay. After AWS, searching AWS, open this cloud computing services, Amazon Web Services, and then go to my account and AWS Management Console. This one, my account, AWS Management Console. So already I have created account on AWS IoT. If you do not have account, you can create your account using credit card or debit card. It requires the credit card or debit card. So already I have created this account on AWS IoT. So simply I will sign in. Go to my account and AWS Management Console. You can see here AWS services recently visited. I have recently visited AWS IoT Core. Okay. So by default, if you have logged in for the first time, it will not show any recent visited services. To find these services, which services you want to use, just type here the name of that service. So we want to use AWS IoT. So I will simply type IoT and it will provide the list of available services. So among this list, we are going to need the IoT core. Okay, we are not going to need this analytics, events, and the site-wise. We are going to need IoT core. Remember, IoT core. Just simply click on it. Now we have opened the console for AWS IoT. You can see here. So it is very different from Firebase. You can see here. You can see list of functions and the features available in AWS IoT. On board, we will quickly go through this list, get started, manage, overview, things. We are going to use these things. So things is basically creating projects. Very similarly, we had created in Firebase. So this is IoT internship project. You can see here, see all projects. We have created these projects, IoT internship, ABK IoT, demo. So add project, if you want to create new project, you have to click on this add project. So similarly, these projects, to create projects, simply in AWS, they call things. In AWS IoT, you have to click on here. So to create new project, you have to click here. In manage, you have to go to things. Other things we are not going to need now. So I'll just later we will create new project or the new thing. ClearTab also we are going to know, we are going to not use this one. Greengrass is also not going to use it. There are so many functions and features available in AWS IoT. You can see there. In secure, we are going to use policies, how to create policies, how to attach policies to the certificates, what are the certificates, how we can download them, how we can integrate that with the ESP8266. We are going to study. And defend, we are also not going to use the defend. And later we are going to use this test feature to check that we are receiving data from ESP8266 or not. So first what we will do, I will just open a model, MQTT model first to understand everything. I'll go to images. You can see here this one. You can see this image. Okay. So in our case, MQTT broker is AWS IoT, which is handling all the publishes and the subscribe request. So whenever any client, in our case, client is ESP8266, client can be this MQTT test client. You can see here, it is not broker of AWS IoT. Understand this. This is one of the client for testing purpose only. This is not the broker. So AWS IoT services, AWS is the broker. This is the client. So broker is AWS IoT. This is client is ESP8266. Another client can be this MQTT test client. Another client can be, for example, I will show you. There is one software client also. We are going to use this one also, MQTT box. This can be also a client, one of the client. So all these clients, this client MQTT box, our ESP8266, and the MQTT test client are all are connected to MQTT broker, which is AWS IoT core. Try to understand this concept first. So later in the session, we are going to send data from ESP8266 and receive. We are going to subscribe to the same channel to which we are going to publish the data. So we will understand it better when we do it practically. So this is the test feature available. So to test everything we have created. To start with, you have to, whenever you see this console, first thing, if you want to create new project, you have to go to manage. First thing is go to manage. And then from manage, go to things. Manage things. Then already have created for testing purpose this thing. If you are new, you have signed in for first time, you have to create thing. So click on this create things. If you want to create multiple things at one time, create many things, you have to select this one. Right now we are going to create single thing. So I will just simply click on this create single thing. Then click next. So you have to provide the name. So I will simply provide the name as IoT internship. Okay, you can see this name. And all other things we are going to keep as it is. We are not going to, because they are optional. You can see here optional things group, searchable thing attributes, thing time. Okay, we are going to not change anything. They are optional. If you want to change, you can change. But to do that, you must understand the how they work. To understand them, you can use the documentation available provided by the AWS IoT. After that, device shadow. What is device shadow? Also, you can see in the documentation. Right now, we are just going to go with this option, no shadow. Okay, just give this name and click next. After that, very important part. All the credentials we saw here, you can see the thing name and these three certificates. Okay, the private key, the client certificate, and the CS certificate. These credentials, you'll find it here. Okay, Atto generated a new certificate, recommended. It is recommended by AWS IoT Core. So use my certificates. If you have your own signed certificates, you can use this one. Okay. All the options are available, but they are a little bit difficult to use. Okay, if you are not expert in this field, so just simply go with auto generated new certificate and click next. And after this, you can see here attach policies to the certificate. So certificate, I will just go to previous. You can see here certificate we are going to create, and to that certificate we have to attach a policy. So what is the policy? Use of policy we will discuss. We are not going to create the policy right now. I will just simply create thing. We are not attaching policy here. Later we are going to do this. So simply create thing now. I will repeat this all process. Don't worry. Now after creating, you will this pop-up will appear on the screen. So first one is you can see the device certificate. This is we are going to need. You can see here, it is in active mode. You can activate the certificate now or later. The certificate must be active for a device to connect to AWS IoT Core. So it is now deactivated. We have deactivated. I will simply activate it. You can deactivate it and activate it. It depends on you. If you want to deactivate any device communication, you just simply have to disable it or deactivate this certificate. Simply download this certificate, device certificate. I'll download it. Okay, it has been downloaded. And the key files. Now there are 3 files: the public key, private key, and the root certificate. Root certificate, root CA certificate is the server authentication certificate. You can see the 2048-bit key. You have to download this one, not this one. Download this one. This RSA 2048-bit key, root CA1, Amazon. Just simply download this one. Okay, we have downloaded that one also. After this, download the private key, and we are not going to need this public key, but if we do not download this, it will not done. Okay, you can see not downloaded. You have to download it. Even though we are not going to use this one, you have to download this, else you cannot proceed further. So understand, first thing, we downloaded the device certificate. It was already activated, and then we downloaded it. So this one was that certificate. After that, we downloaded the Amazon. Whatever the sequence doesn't matter in what sequence you download these files. Okay, just after that we downloaded this root CA file from here, and after that private key and the public key. Okay, public key we are not going to use. So we have downloaded all the required things. And after this, I'll simply click on done. After creating your thing, you can see here it will appear the manage. I will just simply change the menu so you will understand. To see the list of created things, the things we have created in AWS IoT, you have to go to manage and select the things. You will see the list of all things we have created here. Now we have created thing and the certificate also. We have to go to secure part. After manage creating the thing, you have to go to secure. And in secure, you will find the certificates and the policies. So first, we have to create a policy. So what is policy? We will understand that. So simply what we will do, we'll create a new policy. I already have created few policies. Simply we will create new policy. So simply click on create. Then you have to give policy name. So what I will do, common policy. Give any name you want. So IoT policy. The name of policy doesn't matter. Now, this is very important part. Add statements. Policy statements define the type of actions that can be performed by a resource. So all the access you are giving to a client, you can declare here. So for example, if you want ESP8266 to only to publish data to AWS IoT or only to subscribe and not the both, you can define the security rules here. So what can client do with this thing? You have to define here. So this is the security rule. So I just simply type here IoT. You can see the list available. So if I select this IoT publish, all the devices using this certificate will be only able to publish to AWS IoT, to this thing we have created. If I select this IoT subscribe, all the clients will only able to subscribe. IoT Connect, they are only able to connect with the AWS IoT, all the clients, ESP8266, this test client, and this MQTT client. Okay. And there is, you can see all other list available. So there is this one, IoT : star. What does it mean? It allows all the features available. So your client can publish, subscribe, connect, receive, do all the things. So meaning of this IoT colon star means it can do anything. Your client can connect, publish and subscribe. So all things are included in this star. So I will simply select this one. And resource ARN, you have to also give permission here as star. You can see here. This is very important. If you change it, your client will not be able to connect with the AWS IoT. And the effect, you have to select this allow and then create policy. You can see here we have created this IoT policy. I will just simply open this policy. You can see the version. Effect was we selected allow. Action, what are the actions are available? IoT asterisk star. That means we are allowing all the clients to connect, publish, do whatever they want. So we are giving all the accesses. The resources also star. Now, after creating policy, you have to attach this policy to the certificate. You can see how many steps are involved this AWS IoT. It is relative to, there are so many steps relative to Firebase. After creating the this policy, you have to attach this policy to the certificate. To which certificate? To this certificate. Why this certificate? I'll just simply click here first and go to things. You can see here, this certificate is related to this thing we created. So that is the reason we have to attach to IoT internship, right? So what we will do, just go to certificates first. This was the certificate related to IoT thing. Click here and attach policy. You can see here this option. Click here, attach policy, and see, you will see the list of all the available policies. Simply click here, the policy we want to attach to certificate. The access we have given or the defined in this policy. Simply attach it. Okay, successfully attach the policy. And after that, attach thing. So all the things you have created will be available here. So we have created this IoT internship. Select this one and attach. You can see successfully attach the certificate to thing. Now all the things, the process are done with the AWS IoT. So we have created this project. Now we can simply test it if it is working properly or not. Simply what we can do is, I'll take this topic, Control C, and put it over here, Control V. You have to change this name. So what is the thing name? IoT internship. IoT internship. I will subscribe to this particular topic and I will Control C it and I will publish data to same exact topic. So you can see there we have subscribed to this particular topic and we are sending data over this topic. Okay, now if I click publish, we will receive the data over here. You can see the data. I'll simply click publish. You can see message, hello from AWS IoT console. I'll change the message as hello and I will again publish it. You can see that it was the previous message, it was new, it is new message. So this is working correctly. After this, we'll do the same thing. We use the inbuilt client of AWS IoT. What we will do, we will use this MQTT box client to download MQTT box. MQTT box. You have to just go to store. I will just type store, Windows Store. You can see Microsoft Store. Go to Microsoft Store and just simply type MQTT box. You can see here, I already have installed this MQTT box. You have to install it if you want to use it as a client to interact with AWS IoT. I already installed this one. So simply you can install it from Microsoft Store. Just simply type MQTT box. I will close it. And whenever you open this for the first time, there are no already clients created. Okay, you will see this user interface as empty. You will not find this clients. Okay, to create a new client, you have to click here. Okay, you will find this user interface. In that, you have to change name to, we'll change it as IoT client. You can give any name you want. And here the protocol is MQTT TLS. We are using this protocol, MQTT TLS. You can see here the port is secure port is 8883. So it is TLS, MQTT TLS port, secure port, encrypted port. So we'll select this protocol as MQTT TLS. Now next thing is host, where you can find the host. Simply go to AWS IoT console and scroll down little bit left side. You will find the settings. Okay, go to settings. You can see here the endpoint. So this is our host. Simply copy this. Click here. Endpoint copied, and then paste it over here. Control B. I have simply copied from there and paste it here. And version, you do not have to select the manually. Just keep it as auto. And a SSL TLS certificate type as self-signed certificate. You do not have to change anything here. Now, while creating thing, we have downloaded few certificates and the private key. You can see here. So you can see here CA file, server authentication file, client certificate file here, and the client key file. So client key file is basically private key file. So what we will do, I will simply go to first downloads. You can see here all the things. This is the certificate file, client certificate, the CA certificate. You can see here, and this is the private key. You can see here private key, and this is public key. I will simply delete the public key because we are not going to need this one. So all the things required are here. What I will do, I will not delete the public key. I will keep it as it is. I will show you something. Now, first select this CA file. Okay, this one, Amazon root CA. Select this one, open. Now, client certificate. Most of the people are confused in this file. Client certificate file. Instead of certificate file, they upload they select as public key. We are not going to use public key. Okay, so simply select this certificate. You can see certificate.pem. Select this file, and after this, the private key, which is this one, I think. Yes, you can see here the small pop-up. You can read the as private PM key. Okay, so this is the private key, and this is public key. I'll select this private key. Fantastic. And after this, you do not have to change anything. Okay, just I will repeat all the processes. Give client name. It is mandatory. Do not have to give client ID. It is automatically generated by this MQTT box. You do not have to change anything here. Protocol, among the list, you have to select this MQTT/TLS. And host, you can get host By default, there is another host. You have to select the host as this one. Go to Amazon AWS IoT console and scroll down to the left, and you will find the settings. Go to settings and copy this endpoint as host. Okay, this is a host. Simply paste it here. You can see. Then add our files, the files which we have downloaded while creating the thing. Fantastic. I'll save it. Now it was showing not connected, and it is now saying that we have connected this MQTT box with the AWS IoT. Now, what will happen if I choose this client certificate? Instead of this client certificate, I'll choose this public key and see what happens. Yes, this is public key, and I will save it again. You can see here connection error. Okay, so you must add proper files at respective places. So client certificate, you must add here client certificate. So this was the client certificate. Simply open it and then save. Okay, it got connected again. Now what we will do, I'll just simply delete this one, and we will try to publish data using this MQTT client to AWS IoT. And what we will do, we will subscribe to the same channel in another client, which is of AWS IoT. So we'll subscribe to the same channel. So I will copy this one, Control C, and you can see already we have subscribed to the channel. So what I will do, I will just clear it. Okay, we have cleared it. Topic to publish, I'll paste the topic. Topic can be anything. It can be anything. You can just do not follow this syntax. Okay, you can create any topic you want as project slash sensors slash temperature. We will later in the session, we will do that also for proper understanding. We will publish to this particular topic. We will write data, whatever data we want to write. So proper syntax to create the payload, because payload is in JSON. You can see here. So we'll see this one. Okay, we will simply copy this one, Control C, and paste it here. So payload is nothing but basically your data, the data you want to publish. So we'll change it to something as project, well, simply as temperature. And we'll give is, if you want to write data in string, double quotes are must. If you want to send the integer data, simply have to write whatever the integer number is. What I will do, temperature is most of the time in integer and floats. That's why I'll just simply send an integer, and then you have to just simply click on publish. Okay, what I will do, I will just minimize this one. Here we are subscribed to this channel, this topic, sorry, and we are receiving data in this console. You can see here the channel, the topic to which we have subscribed is this one, and the topic to which we are publishing is the also same. So simply what we will do, we will publish this data and we'll observe it over here. You can see that we send the data using MQTT client, but we have received that data in another client of AWS IoT. So same data we can receive in ESP8266 also. So same data, this temperature data, we can send from ESP8266 and receive it in other clients, and depending upon that, we can control the things. So I'll quickly give you an example. There is one AC in the room, and you have created a ESP266 project to turn and on and off a AC using temperature sensor. So you have used the IoT. So ESP266 will read the data. What is the temperature? It will send it on AWS IoT. It will update AWS IoT, update this data, and again send it to the AC. And the AC then will decide, depending upon the temperature, what to do. Means the device near to the AC. So this is how you can use MQTT and AWS IoT in your project. I will just simply change it to another format as multiple branches. You can, to do that, you have to create this one. We'll just change this as to project. In project, we have sensors, and from sensors, we want to read data of temperature. So understand the structure I'm creating here. I want to read data from temperature, the moisture. And against moisture, you have to write the data, as I will just write some random values. And then I will close the brackets because there are 3 brackets. First one, sorry, I have to create only 2 brackets. Okay. So this first one we have closed here, the second one here, and the third one here. I'll just simply, what I will do, I'll just simply publish it. Now you can see the structure changed. Under project, we have sensors, and among the sensor, we have selected this moisture and we are reading the data. So this is how you can do it. Now we saw how we can integrate MQTT box client with the AWS IoT. Now it is time for ESP266. Go to secrets. We'll start from beginning. The first thing we have to change, we have changed SSID and password already. Next is thing name. So what is the name of our thing? You can find it here. It was IoT internship. You can see here. Simply go to manage, go to things, and this was the name of thing we have created, IoT internship. Simply copy this one. I'll type it, IoT internship. After that, don't change, just make it positive, time zone, and then host. Host, where we can find the host? In the settings of AWS IoT console. Go to settings, copy this endpoint, put it over here, Control V. After this, CA certificate, server authentication certificate. I'll just delete this one. And between begin certificate, end certificate, you have to write that content of certificate. So I'll simply go to this certificate. This is Amazon CA certificate. You can see here CA certificate. CA is written here. So select this one and right click on it. Open with any editor you have. I will open with Notepad++. And then just simply you can copy this. Control C. Simply you can copy entire thing from end certificate. I will just do that. Control C. Make sure that you delete this one. And then paste. Control V. You can see here. We have pasted this content of CA certificate. After this, client certificate. So where is the client certificate? This one. Open with Notepad++. Copy the content. Control C. And erase everything. And paste it. Control V. You can see here. And after this, the private key. This is public key. You can see in the pop-up. This is public key. So this is the private key. I'll simply right click on it, edit with Notepad++, select entire thing, Control C, and select this all, delete it and paste it. Control V, Control S. I'll save this. Okay, I'll just summarize what we have done. We change the credentials to whatever credentials we have for Wi-Fi. The theme name you can select from manage and things here. Go to manage and things. Okay, all the list of things will be available. Just select you want whatever you want thing. Then put it over here. After that, we change the time zone for -5 to 5. Then the MQTT host. We find this host from settings. You can see here from settings. Just copy this one and paste it here. And after that, all the contents of certificates which we have downloaded while creating the thing, we have put it in the respective files, okay, in the directories. And CS certificate, we have put this content of CS certificate here. And simply compile it first. All the credentials required are in secret.h file. You do not have to change it anything here. Okay, so simply compile it again, and then we will upload this code and understand it. Done compiling. Just simply check it. The COM port is selected. Upload it. I will turn on the hotspot of my smartphone with the same credentials. I have turned it on. It is 100%. I'll just simply open the serial monitor. See the baud rate. It is 152.115.200. Because if you find this, okay, we have connected MQTT connecting. If you have done everything correctly, it will get connected. You can see here, we got connected. If there is something missing or there is some issue, we will not get connected. We will simply check that also. So what I will do in private key, I will delete some content. Okay, so I have deleted some content of this private key. Simply we will upload it again. So it might in this case get connected but not able to send the data. Okay, so this can be the case also. We'll see if it gets connected or not. Done. Now MQTT connecting. You can see the failed reason. Okay, we deleted some content of private key, so that was the reason. Let's just simply Control Z it and then go to this one. So quickly, what we'll understand, what is the data we are sending. You can see here this random function. So we are sending some random values ranging from 0 to 100 to the client. we also have subscribed to the same channel. See here, we are sending to the same channel and we are receiving to the same channel. So whenever ESP8266 will send the data, it will also receive the same data because we have subscribed to the same channel. So if you don't want to receive from the same channel, you can simply change this subscribe channel to data. I will not do it again this time. I'll show you after uploading this code. We'll understand this first. So data we are sending is some random numbers ranging from 0 to 100. Okay. We have connected. It is trying to connect with the MQTT client. Sorry, MQTT broker, which is AWS IoT Core. Okay, got connected. So you can see here, I will just maximize it. It is sending the data to this particular topic. Now, what is the data? State reported value, and value is some random value ranging from 0 to 100. So also it is sending, and because we have subscribed to the same channel, the same thing we are receiving also. You can see here, after sending we are receiving. So what we will do, we'll understand this structure first, then we will change received data, okay, and then we'll again upload it. So what I will do, we do not want to receive from the same topic, so we'll subscribe to some another topic. As I'll just add some directory as data. Okay, now it will not receive data from this channel because we have changed subscribe channel, subscribe topic to this data. Okay, so this thing, so this is the entire topic. I will simply understand the send, the structure of payload. You can see here we have created this JSON structure of data. The first object was state. I just closed it. Okay. First object was state. You can see here it was root object, very first. After that it was reported, and after that at the end or the lowest level object was value, and in front of value we are sending this data, random data. Okay, you can change it, this structure from here. So in tomorrow's session we are going to change the structure according to our need. Okay, so I'll just change this value to number. Okay, we have made change over in send function, data send function, and we change the topic to which we have subscribed. So whenever we publish to this topic, we will not receive anything because our subscribe topic is different than to topic we are publishing. So what we will do, we'll subscribe with another client. Control C, I will just Control C it, and I will delete this. I will add subscriber and Control V. Okay, to data, subscribe it over here. So we are sending data from ESP8266. Data can be anything, random number, sensor data, string, it can be string also, it can be anything. So we are sending this data from ESP8266 so that we can observe and monitor this data in other clients. So here, I will just simply open this one also. You can see in subscribe, we have nothing here. It is empty. I will, sorry. it is trying to connect with the MQTT broker, which is AWS IoT. It got connected. It is sending data, but we are not receiving data here also. You can see here. Okay, sorry, it must be update. Okay, because we are publishing data to the update, so it has to be update, not data. Now we will see the data here. Okay, again there is thing, our thing name. I forgot to add the thing name. Our thing name is IoT internship. IoT internship. I'll subscribe it. You can see here we are receiving data. I will clear it. Clear. So whatever data we are sending from here, it was 49. See, we have received over here. Now 65. See, the 65. 98. 98. So we are sending data from ESP8266 to the broker, which is AWS IoT Core. And from IoT Core, AWS IoT Core, we are connected using this another client, MQTT box. And we are receiving data into this client. So another client can be our Android application. So we can connect our Android application, which is a client, to AWS IoT Core to receive this data, this sensor data or the random data or the string data, can be anything. To receive this data to the application, in the application, you must connect your Android application with AWS IoT. So simply understand this. So we are sending this data to this topic, and we are subscribed to the same topic using another client. You can see here. Now what I will do, I'll just simply open this. Okay, we are sending the data. You can see here. I will go to test and send data to this subscriber. I will write some data. Control V. Control C. Control V. Change the theme name to IoT internship. Yes. And this is subscriber. Control C. We want to publish the data. Okay. So we are publishing data using this client, which is built-in client of AWS IoT Core. We are publishing to this particular topic using this client. Also, in ESP8266, we are subscribed topic. So whenever we will send data from this topic, this client, ESP8266 will receive the data. I'll simply publish it to this topic. Observe it. You can see we received the data. See here, received AWS Things IoT Internship Shadow Update data, because we are subscribed to this particular topic, and message is hello from AWS IoT console. Now what we will do from tomorrow, in tomorrow's session, we are going to control LED of ESP8266, and we are going to send some data, serial data to the broker, and we are going to observe that data into clients, the clients available. Also, we are going to control the LED of ESP8266 using these same clients. And in tomorrow's session, we are going to start with the Android part of AWS IoT. So we have to integrate Android application with the AWS IoT. So that is the reason we have to create a key store. So we will discuss it tomorrow. What is the key store? It is required. So all the certificates we have added this manually. You can see here the content of certificates we have added here. So you have to combine all these certificates and the keys into a single key store. So how to create this single key store, we are going to learn in tomorrow's session, and how we can add in your application that key store so that your application can integrate with the AWS IoT. We are going to do this all tomorrow. And day after, in the last session, day after tomorrow, we are going to control LED of ESP8266 using application we built, which we are going to integrate with the AWS IoT. And also we are going to receive the data from AWS IoT. So day after tomorrow, in the last session, we are going to do that. Okay. In tomorrow's session, we simply control the LED and receive the data from ESP8266 using the clients, which is MQTT box and the client, which is built-in client over here. So we cannot cover that part in today's session. That is the reason we are going to cover the entire thing in 2 days. Okay. So now what I will do, I will end today's session, and forum is open for question and answer. Please share the code. Yes, I will share the code. Why we need MQTT? We can directly connect ESP to AWS. You cannot connect ESP to AWS directly, because there are security layers and protocols you must follow. The first one is TLS and SSL protocol, security protocol, which is used by MQTT. And mostly in AWS IoT, MQTT is the protocol which is implemented. You must use MQTT protocol to connect with the ESP8266. Can we subscribe and publish multiple topics? Yes. Yes, you can send and receive the data from multiple clients using the same client. What MQTT do? It is the protocol which we have discussed yesterday. It is used to connect with the AWS IoT. It is a very lightweight protocol. Protocol means some standard format to send and receive the data. So MQTT is nothing but a protocol. It is lightweight. To learn more about MQTT, you just can go to, just simply type MQTT. What is MQTT? To understand, just simply go to this website. You will understand everything. Okay. Get MQTT specifications, software use cases. Simply understand with this. Sir, who client, who is broker? Client is the devices which are connected to the AWS IoT core. In our case, we are connecting ESP8266 to the AWS IoT core. So this is a client. ESP8266 is a client. We connected this MQTT box with the AWS IoT using the certificates and the key to the AWS IoT. So whatever the devices we are connecting with the AWS broker, which is AWS IoT core, are clients. And AWS IoT core is a broker. Which format data stored in AWS IoT? So we are sending data in JSON format, but it is in real time. Okay, if you want to store the data, you have to use DynamoDB. And in DynamoDB, we are storing data as in SQL format in rows and columns. What are the advantages of AWS as compared to Firebase? First thing, very important, which is security. You can see that all the required steps, the policy, the certificates, the server authentication key, private key, device certificates. You can see this security level in AWS IoT. And in Firebase, you just need database secrets, and for server authentication, you just need fingerprint. Okay, can just understand by that. Second is features. All the features available. You can directly import the data, or you can directly integrate with all other available modules in AWS IoT, like uh, Lambda is there, DynamoDB is there to store the data. So there is a lot of functionality is there, and features are available in AWS IoT. And in industry, most of the industries prefer AWS IoT over Firebase because of the features and the scalability and the security. Yes, key and all stuff are secured. Yes, key and all stuff are secured. Yes. The communication is HTTP or HTTPS. It is HTTP, yes, because this yes in the HTTPS it stands for secure, and the protocol is SSL or TLS slash TLS is the upgraded version of SSL. So it is HTTPS. In MQTT, both source and destination are clients, and MQTT broker is a mediator. Yes, yes, Abhay Rathore, you are right. In MQTT, both source and destination are clients, and MQTT is a broker and mediator. No, sorry, MQTT is a protocol. Broker or mediator is AWS IoT core. Okay, so connection and communication we are doing using this MQTT protocol. It is not broker or mediator. The mediator and the broker is AWS IoT core. And the source and the destination are clients. This one is correct. But the MQTT is protocol to communication between these uh, clients and the broker. Okay. Yes. So public private keys and certificate will expire or not? Yes, it gets its expire, but it takes like if we are creating thing now, it will get expire in like 2050 or something. Yeah, you get expiration date of that certificate. Let me show you. If I go to certificates, I'll try to find it. You can see here expiration date 1 January 2015. It will get expired. So you have to update in 2015. And I think it is too much of time. Okay. It is more than enough. How much is AWS cost? If you open the account using debit card or credit card for the first year, it is free. And after that, according to your users and scalability, it will get increased. So AWS IoT will charge according to your users. You can find the details regarding billing here. In manage, you have to go to billing. You can see create billing group. Just simply have to go to just type billing. In billing, you will find all the required details. You can see uh, how much we have today's exchange rate, and the how much we have spent in AWS IoT. You will see all the details here in the billing section. Just type here billing, you will find all the required details. when we need to send data to AWS, how to set up MQTT. We use to set up MQTT to using which client. It depends on the client also. If you are using Windows machine or the laptop or the PC, you must go with the Node.js or Python. Okay, there are SDKs are available on the official site. If you are going with the ESP8266 as a client to set up MQTT in that, so you have to install the libraries required. I just showed you here. See, the PubSub client, the Arduino JSON, these are the required libraries. And in PubSub client, they have defined all the rules for MQTT, how they are going to implement the MQTT. You do not have to do it manually. So it is very complex to create a MQTT protocol. So that is the reason, just simply use this library, PubSub client.h. Can we use same keys for multiple projects? Yes, you can add the same keys to multiple devices also. Devices mean the clients. So already we used in same keys in ESP8266. We added the content of these keys and certificates in the ESP8266 and in MQTT box also. So using the same certificates and keys, we connected two devices, or the two clients simply. MQTT is must online. Online means it must be in a network. It is not necessary that your devices must be connected to internet. The network can be local network. All the devices can be interconnected using a network, local network, and you can implement MQTT. In that case, there are other. I don't know how to do that actually, because I have not worked in local network devices. So you have to find it how you can implement MQTT for local devices. Like LoRa is there, so you can do it definitely. AWS IoT is free. Yes, it is free for first year, and after that, according to your uses of AWS IoT services, they will charge you. It is first for first year after opening the account. Any other questions? Can we process data in AWS? Yes. There are so many modules available. I'll simply show you. If you go to Lambda, Lambda is there. Lambda, and see. So you can integrate AWS IoT Core with the Lambda or the DynamoDB. You can add the functions, dashboards, you can see everything here. So if you want to learn more about the Lambda, you can simply read the documentation available. And there is DynamoDB. Okay. Manage NoSQL database. So it will store your data, whatever data you are interchanging using MQTT with the AWS IoT Core. You can just simply store it in DynamoDB. If we get some time, extra time, I will show you how you can integrate DynamoDB with the AWS IoT Core. So you can store whatever data you are receiving. So if ESP8266 publish some data, we will record it in NoSQL table in the format. We will do the session on that also. So you can see here tables, all the things are available in the DynamoDB. So it is a database to store your data. Any other questions? Please ask. If also again, if we get some time, I will show you the demonstration that how you can access or interact with the AWS IoT Core using Node.js and Python in your Windows machine. So like we did with MQTT box, you can create your own code in Python or Node.js to interact and connect with the AWS IoT core. If you get some time, I will just show you that demonstration quickly. If there are any other questions, please ask. Is there another way like MQTT? There are a lot of IoT protocols, but this is standard IoT protocol which is used in industry. So I basically I don't know about the other protocols which is because we have used this MQTT protocol, but I think there is we can directly send the data using HTTPS and HTTP. Okay, in case of Firebase real-time database, we send the data using HTTP. So in that case, we did not use MQTT protocol. So there are a lot of protocols available. You can simply search on internet, but this is standard industry grade protocol. Where can we use MQTT protocol excluding AWS IoT? You can use it in Adafruit IO. I will just simply show you the list of softwares and the platforms. You can see here we can MQTT platforms for ESP8266. Sorry. And see, ThingSpeak Cloud is there. You can use it with Things Board. ThingSpeak is there also. AWS IoT is there. Adafruit IO is there. You can see here EMXQ IO is there. And there is one also, Mongoose OS is there, which uses MQTT protocol. You can see all the list are available. There are so many platforms available. Just simply go through this. Thank you. There are any other questions? If there are no questions, I will end today's meeting. Okay. Thank you, everyone.